Hi, my name is Alice,
And my name is Angelica.
and we're with Girls on the Run Chicago, a positive youth development program that combines life skills lessons and running to help girls live healthy, confident lives. We are so excited to be participating in the 2020 Girl Wise Conference. Thanks for joining us. Today, we'll be guiding you through a workshop based on 3 lessons from our programs. Our goal is for you to walk away with skills that will serve you in your day-to-day lives. The topics we'll be covering today are star power, which is all about recognizing and celebrating the qualities that make you unique and powerful. Self-talk and how you can develop a practice of positive self-talk. And finally, we'll do an exercise all about finding balance, which will connect back to the concept of star power. All you will need for today is a notebook or a few sheets of blank paper if that's all you have, as well as something to write with. Let's go ahead and get started. The key concept for our first lesson is star power, which we talk about in one of the first lessons of Girls on the Run, which is our program for 3rd through 5th grade girls. To help introduce the concept of star power, we're going to start with a visualization exercise. Visualization is used throughout Girls on the Run Chicago programming to positively impact girls' thinking, feelings, and behaviors. It can have the same impact on individuals of any age. Go ahead and place yourself in a comfortable position. When you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes and take a long, slow, deep breath. As you breathe out, relax your body, starting with your toes, moving up to your shoulders, and ending all the way at the top of your head. Now imagine that it is night and the sky is dark. From your window, you look up at the sky and see it is filled with thousands of twinkling stars. Focus on one of the stars and make it your own. Watch how your star shines brighter in the sky as you focus on it. Your star is one of millions, and while all stars have similar qualities, there is no other star in the sky that is exactly like yours. Your star is truly beautiful and unique. You are just like that star. Although you are one of millions of people, there is no one just like you. There is no one who laughs like you, no one who dances like you, no one who thinks of the world in the same way you do. Now reach up as high as you can and pull your star out of the sky. Hug it so tight that it becomes part of you, and you can feel it shining in your heart. Your star is connected to every organ and cell in your body and gives you a special power, star power. When your star power is activated, others can see it through the twinkle in your eye and the love in your heart. You activate your star power when you help a friend or when you sing at the top of your lungs. And your star power is the strongest when you are doing things that make you happy. Now imagine a cloudy night when you can't see the stars. Just like some nights, there are clouds in the sky and you can't see the stars. You may have some cloudy times when it is hard to activate your star power. These clouds can make you say negative things to yourself, like I can't do it, or I'm not good enough. The more negative things you say or hear, the thicker and larger the clouds become, and you have a harder time remembering your star power. When this happens, remember that your star power still shines inside of you, right next to your heart. When you lose sight of your star power, there are different ways to activate it again. You might take a deep breath in or out, or you might do something that you enjoy, like reading a book, listening to music, or going for a run. Sometimes you may not know how to activate your star power, and you need someone to help you. They might do this by giving you a hug, telling you a joke, or listening to you. Take a moment to feel your star power and see it shining. Remember that your star power is always inside of you, letting you know how truly amazing you are. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes and come back to the group. To help process your experience of this visualization, which may have been a new experience for you, we're going to do a short reflection on the questions that you see on the screen. There, how did this visualization make you feel? What did it teach you about star power? What does it feel like for you when your star power is activated? And what helps you activate your star power? For the next minute, jot down some notes for the questions that resonate most with you. But don't feel limited by these questions either. If you just want to write about your experience, that's okay too. We'll go ahead and start that minute now. Okay, now that we've considered star power, we're ready to move on to our next two lessons, which will build on this important concept.
So next, we're going to talk about self-talk. This is the lesson that follows star power in our program, so hopefully you'll notice how the two lessons build on one another. Being mindful of when we are practicing negative self-talk is important, and developing a consistent practice of positive self-talk is a way to support our star power. First, we're going to talk about negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be anything from being critical about how you look in a particular outfit to beating yourself up about how you did on a test. Common negative self-talk phrases include, I'm not good enough, no one likes me, I can't do it. Remember, negative self-talk can be internal or external. So now we're going to take a minute to think about this past week and how often you engaged in negative self-talk. Was it once a day, twice a day, maybe more than that? So we're going to take the next minute to think through this. There's so much outside of our control right now, and we're all undergoing a range of experiences and emotions. One of the things we can control in this time is how we talk to ourselves and how we show ourselves kindness and compassion. In these next exercises, we're going to talk about how you can be more mindful of negative self-talk and do an exercise to help us reframe negative self-talk into positive self-talk. To start, pull out a blank sheet of paper. It can be a scrap of paper if that's all you have. Take the next 2 minutes to write down 2 negative self-talk statements you said to yourself out loud or in your head. Okay, if you've got your negative self-talk statements, go ahead and set that sheet of paper to the side and we'll come back to it in a few minutes. Now, take a look at the worksheet on the screen titled Positive Self-Talk. For the next 5 minutes, take a stab at filling it out by completing the phrases with things that are true for you. You do not need to finish the worksheet, but fill it out as best as you can with the time that you have. So we'll start the 5 minutes now. Okay, we're going to move on. If you didn't have a chance to finish filling out your worksheet, that's not a problem. You can continue filling it out later on. So at each Girls on the Run and Heart and Soul practice, girls receive a take-home challenge as a way to encourage them to continue practicing new skills outside of the program. Today, we are encouraging you to do the same. So in support of your practice of positive self-talk, make a list on your phone or post a hard copy list to a bulletin board in your room or on your bathroom mirror. This way, your hard copy list will be in a place, or wherever you decide to place it, will be somewhere where you always have a reminder of what it feels like when your star power is activated. So now you can go back to your sheet of paper with your negative self-talk statements. Reread one or both of your statements, and on the opposite side of the paper, go ahead and rewrite them so that they're positive self-talk statements. Here's an example. My math class is hard. I'm not smart enough. We can reframe that by saying, my math class is challenging, but I'm putting in my best effort and asking for help when I need it. So now take 2 minutes to flip your statements, and we'll connect back once you're done. Okay, we're back. So this is a great exercise to do whenever you feel negative self-talk creeping in, and it doesn't necessarily need to be on paper. One of the exercises we do in the lessons of Girls on the Run is to ask girls to make a sound, like a game show buzzer, hence what's on the PowerPoint, anytime they hear negative self-talk. This is something you can do with your family, your group of friends, or even in your own mind. So I coached last fall, and since this technique has been really helpful, one example that was pretty recent was video calling with my friends, and I forgot something very minor, and I quickly and subconsciously said, sorry, that was so dumb. That's a perfect moment for that buzzer noise. Whether you want to say it out loud or say it in your mind is completely up to you, but the buzzer helps you stop the negative self-talk in its tracks and also serves as literally an alarm, reminding you of how often you engage in negative self-talk. When we practice negative self-talk, it clouds our star power, making it difficult for all of our amazing qualities to shine. Now I'm going to pass the mic back to Alice.
Thanks so much, Angelica. The final topic for today's workshop is balance. It can be challenging to find balance in our lives, especially right now when there's so much going on in the world and so much of our lives is taking place right inside of our own homes. We're going to continue the star power metaphor and the star metaphor as a strategy for talking about balance. But first, we're going to start with another activity. Wherever you're sitting, sit up as straight as you can. I'm going to call out different unhealthy habits related to our physical, spiritual, and emotional health. Each time I read an unhealthy habit, regardless of whether it's one you currently engage in, you're going to lean back and move a little bit closer to the edge of your seat. Are we ready? Let's get started. Example 1. You got too much screen time yesterday on your computer, your phone, your tablet. Example 2. You use negative self-talk after a difficult class at school. Example 3. You stayed up until 1 a.m. squeezing in just one more episode of your new favorite show. Example 4. You had a disagreement with a friend, and instead of reaching out to process your feelings, you kept them bottled up inside. At this point, everyone should be pretty slouched in their chairs. You're probably pretty uncomfortable, and you might even be close to falling right out of your chair. Remember what this feels like. Go ahead and sit back up. And remember that the idea here is that practicing unhealthy behaviors can throw us off balance, especially if we're practicing multiple unhealthy habits at a time. Practicing healthy habits can help us achieve balance so that we quite literally don't fall over or out of our chairs in this particular case. Angelica, over to you.
So now we're going to take a look at our second worksheet, Balancing Your Star, which you should see now on the screen. In Girls on the Run, we teach girls that they each have a star. Remember a conversation about star power. And it is made up of 5 parts. They are physical health, so the part of our star that represents all the things we do that relate to our bodies, such as eating fruits and vegetables, exercising, or getting enough sleep. The brain, this is the part of our star that represents the things we do that work our brain, such as learning a new TikTok dance, making an important decision, or being creative. Activities refers to the part of our star that represents all the activities we do to activate our star power. So this can include hanging out with friends, being on a sports team, or baking cookies. The people section represents the people in our life who help us to activate our star power, such as family members, friends, or classmates. And lastly, emotions. This part of our star represents all of the feelings we have that make up our emotional health. For example, in a given day, you might feel happy, anxious, sad, confused, excited, or nervous. When I say go, you're going to have 2 minutes to fill out the different areas of your star with examples from this past week. How did you support your physical health? What emotions did you feel? What sort of activities did you do that made you happy? For example, under people, you might write down, I video chatted with my friends. Okay, so now we're going to give you 2 minutes to write down as many things that you participated in this past week as you can. Okay, so next we're going to write down responses to the following questions. Do you feel that your star is balanced based on your activities from this last week? Which section of your star felt most balanced? Which section of your star felt most out of balance? We're going to take a minute so that you can work your way through some of these questions. So, your second take-home challenge is to work on finding balance by planning how you will work on the different parts of your star. At the beginning of the week, you can look at your star and make some adjustments to practice balance. There is no right number of activities to do. This is personal and meant to be manageable. Now we're going to take a minute to set yourself up for success with your take-home challenge. You're going to write down the activities you want to do this next week to help you stay balanced in your star, and then your challenge is going to be to implement your plan. So another quick minute just to write out that plan.
It's hard to believe, but we have reached the end of our workshop today. We hope that this has been a helpful opportunity for you to learn more about recognizing and celebrating your star power, practicing positive self-talk, and building an awareness of negative self-talk, and also finding balance during this really unusual and complicated time. As a reminder, your 2 take-home challenges for today are to reference that positive self-talk worksheet you put together earlier on in the session. Again, maybe make a list on your phone, take the list that you wrote down and put it up on a bulletin board in your room or maybe on your refrigerator so that you always have access to the things that make you feel powerful and like your star power is activated. Your second take-home challenge, again, is to practice balancing that star. Look at the plan that you made for yourself just a moment ago and do your best to act on it and continue making plans for the week ahead about how you'll serve those different parts of your star. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so glad you decided to participate in this year's GirlWise conference. We hope you learned a little bit of activities and skills that you can carry with you into the week and months ahead. If you'd like to learn more about Girls on the Run Chicago, you can do so by visiting www.gotr.chicago.org. Again, that's www.gotr.chicago.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.